We'll get you each time. Join in the action. Come be a part.
Winter in New York will warm up your heart. I'm for New York, we're for New York, for the pride of New York. Hey world, are you watching? For the thrill of being number one, we're for New York. Pet discounts for the best care a pet can get.
I'm Neil Patrick, president, with savings on beautiful home aquariums from Tetra.
Welcome to Tetra's wonderful world of tropical fish, featuring quality aquarium products like Whisper Power Filters and Air Pumps, and Tetramin Fish Food, the leading products you and your fish can trust.
Tetra's wonderful world of tropical fish, available at Petland Discounts.
Pet discounts for the best care a pet can get.
In an emergency, reaction time is critical. So when one of these volunteers gets a cold or allergy, should she take a medicine that can cause drowsiness or long-lasting Sudafed 12-hour? It relieves nasal congestion all day and lets you stay alert.
Great.
For long-lasting non-drowsy relief,
You gotta eat quick.
Okay.
Back this way.
Sudafed 12-hour clears you up without slowing you down. From the makers of original Sudafed.
I tried some harsher things and I just ended up with dry, flaking skin. So I went back to Dove and I've stayed with it.
Dove contains 1/4 moisturizing cream. It won't dry your face like soap.
It makes me feel soft and young.
Easter dinner just seems a little bit off without it. The Durkee green bean casserole. Made only with Durkee French fried onions.
Yoplait Crunch-In Yogurt Light. Light on calories, low in fat. It's the one crunch you'll look forward to. New from Yoplait. Do it for you.
Hillshire Farm knows company's not always expected, but good food is. Hillshire Farm Light Little Smokies. Ready in minutes, their snappy bite bursts with flavor. Taste the difference when it comes from Hillshire Farm.
They're real-life brushes with death. Caught on video. A store clerk goes one-on-one with an armed robber and pays the price. A bungee jumper takes thrill-seeking to its highest level when his safety cord suddenly snaps. A diver gets caught in the grasp of a dangerous whale, and an encounter with a friendly bear turns grisly. Caught on video. On the next Maury Povich Show.
Monday at 2, followed by Sally at 3, only on 4 New York.
Our Room Plus factory made a tremendous buy on all kinds of white mica, so we can lighten up our prices and bring you a fabulous white sale. Save on everything, white or off-white. These are extra savings on top of our already low factory direct prices. And if white isn't right for you, we'll still give you great savings. Plus, put as little as 10% down, make no payments, pay no interest until September. That's right, September. The white sale is the right sale for you at Room Plus, just round the corner.
Promotional consideration by New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus, the gentle shampoo plus conditioner in one for naturally beautiful, healthy hair. New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus. The Designer Series vacuum with onboard tools, powerful motor, and permanently attached hose from White Westinghouse. One taste and you'll fall in love with I can't believe it's not butter spread. It's the taste you love without the cholesterol. Hooked on Phonics teaches you to read using flashcards, music, and books. It's colorful, musical, and fun. Learn to read with Hooked on Phonics. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
In most American cities, you can find some sort of gang activity going on each day after school. Sometimes it starts out with sticks. Beatings take place. And random shots are usually fired. The Salvation Army programs for youth, giving kids a fighting chance.
According to television research, viewers, like you, are attracted to babies, puppies, and the word free. Which is why we're using them to draw your attention to the federal government's free Consumer Information Catalog from, where else? Pueblo, Colorado. The catalog lists free and low-cost government publications on saving money, finding a job, educating your children, buying a home, getting federal benefits, staying healthy. Sorry, I thought I was losing you there for a second. Now, where were we? Best of all, the Consumer Information Catalog is free, and so are many of the publications listed inside. To get your free Consumer Information Catalog, send your name and address to Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. That address again, Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
You're watching WNBC for New York. And now, Ralph Penza, Barry Peltz, Ira Joe Fisher, and John Frankel. This is News for New York at 11.
Good evening. It's the end of a joyous weekend as the Christian world wraps up its celebration of Easter.
World peace has been the message for this Easter holiday. In Rome, 60,000 faithful jammed St. Peter's Square as the Pope prayed for peace. He called for an end to the violence which he said has reached to all corners of the world. The renewal of faith was especially extended to Jerusalem, where the pontiff said he hoped peace and joy would reign again someday as it did that first Easter. But in Jerusalem, the holiest of cities, Palestinian Christians were not able to attend services. They have been barred from the holy city since the massacre in Hebron. But pilgrims gathered at the place where Christ's tomb was said to be to pray for an end to violence. In southern Lebanon, at a border held by Israelis, Easter services were canceled because of rocket fire.
The Clintons joined millions of other Americans in celebrating Easter. Dressed in their Easter finery, President Clinton, his wife Hillary, and daughter Chelsea attended church services. They worshiped at the Foundry United Methodist Church in Washington. Easter was celebrated in peace in Sarajevo. The ceasefire made it possible for children to get colored Easter eggs and for Christians to go to church and pray. In Piedmont, Alabama, there was an Easter service at the site of a church whose roof was ripped off by a tornado. There were prayers for the 20 people who died.
Across the river,
90 people were injured by that twister.
And in New York, an atmosphere of pageantry surrounding the Easter celebration. Bishop Richard Grine knocked on the huge bronze doors of the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, and they opened majestically for an Episcopalian worship service. And to the south in Manhattan, the world's most well-known Easter parade. Steve Dunlap reports from Fifth Avenue, of course.
What words are there for this timeless New York ritual? Daniel Aston has a few. From his perch on the steps of St. Patrick's Cathedral, where he helps direct crowd control, Mr. Aston has seen nearly a dozen Easter parades, and he's noticed some things.
I think it used to be much more elegant. You used to get dressed up, you had to buy a new suit, a new dress. You wandered around and you walked up and down showing off your spring finery. It was the time of renewal. Now I think people are getting, they're a little too casual, I think, in their own way.
To be sure, at the Easter parade, there are still well-dressed people, and very many too well-dressed people.
Well, actually, my neck feels quite good. It's my arm that's got a kink in it right about now.
But the truly well-dressed are now decidedly the holdouts, islands of traditionalism in a Sargasso sea of Gore-Tex and denim. It's enough to move some of us old-fashioned types to tears.
I don't know what it is. They just seem casual, or maybe they're afraid of a lot of things here in New York.
Few of the fashion unconscious here had any apologies. Some said they were just taking pictures. Some said they were tourists and didn't know. Some pleaded poverty. You're wearing blue jeans to the Easter parade.
Yeah, that's all I could afford.
All you could afford?
It's a no. Yeah, it's just a casual kind of day.
We're seeing a lot of people here who are dressed kind of casual. What, is this some kind of a fashion trend?
I don't know.
Some people don't dress up the way they used to. Some people don't act the way they used to. The Easter parade attracts legions of show-offs. So what? After all, the city that gave birth to the Easter parade is gritty, in-your-face, outlandish, elegant, all at the same time. Perhaps that's one thing to celebrate this Easter. In the words of the psalmist, let us be glad and rejoice. Steve Dunlop, News 4, New York.
Hundreds of firefighters spent their Easter Sunday battling a stubborn blaze in Sag Harbor, Long Island. The fire broke out in a hardware store and quickly spread to several adjacent buildings. Fire companies from Hampton Bays to Montauk responded to that fire. 2 minor injuries were reported, and the cause of the blaze is yet to be determined. And in the Greenpoint section of Brooklyn, 65 people are homeless tonight after fire roared through their apartment house. The fire at 202 Huron Street started around 3 o'clock this morning. 20 people were injured and at least 5 buildings were damaged. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The Red Cross is now attempting to find temporary housing for those who lost their homes. Ralph?
And Perry, while we're about it, an underground fire bore grim reminders of that pipeline explosion in Edison, New Jersey. Homes were evacuated in one Queens neighborhood. People waiting anxiously, hoping for the best while fearing the worst. But tonight, they can relax. Tiwa Chang reports.
At one point, firemen had police evacuate several hundred residents of 92nd Street in Jackson Heights. It appeared an underground fire and some Con Edison electrical wiring had also burned through some adjacent underground gas lines.
We felt we had a pretty good sized gas leak here under the ground, and we had no way of knowing if the gas would extend to the houses.
For the residents of 92nd Street, the evacuation brought fears of last week's massive gas explosion.
Plumes of smoke coming out of the manhole cover, several manhole covers down 92nd Street. And then the asphalt started getting hot, and they poured water on it. They opened a fire hydrant. All I could think of was Edison, New Jersey.
Are you scared?
Yes.
Why? Because of the smoke and everything?
Yeah, the smell of gas.
Workers wearing oxygen masks went underground and found that there was no gas leak. Then Con Edison and Brooklyn gas crews began repairing both the burned electrical cables and the broken gas lines that had disrupted service to several dozen houses and apartment buildings. After being evacuated for about 2 hours, the families were allowed to return to their homes. Fire department determined it was safe. Hopefully electricity and gas will be restored sometime tonight. In Jackson Heights, Tiwa Chang, News 4, New York.
And the police tell us no one was hurt in the fire.
When News 4 at 11.